Hey everybody. So I said that I was gonna do a update this weekend on my off day, just because I didn't really ever get to do like a video beforehand where I kind of explained IVF and give you like all the stuff I have to do because there's so much to IVF. I don't know. Like I never expected it to be this like much. Um, to do, like take over your life for 2 weeks, just based off of, we're doing a frozen embryo transfer, so it's just a little bit different than a fresh embryo transfer, but um, man, it is intense. Nothing like what they make it out to be, I'll tell you that much. So, for the people who don't know what IVF is, sorry, I'm a little bit tired today. Um, Pretty much it's just you are injecting yourself to make your ovaries produce as many eggs as possible, and then you have your reproductive specialist who is monitoring you um, while you're making those eggs, and then they give you another injection that prevents you from ovulating, and then they set up an egg retrieval, which is where they actually go in. You're usually sedated or under anesthesia, but I've seen some people aren't, which is really crazy. But anyway, I will be, definitely. No questions asked about that. Very sedated. um, but they take a needle, ultrasound, and then a needle, and then they go into each single follicle that you've produced over your stemming time and extract all the eggs out of those follicles. Then they take those eggs and they have a couple different ways of um, fertilizing them, but they can either just do like a natural fertilization where they just take Tim's sperm and put them with my eggs, and then they'll do their own thing and we see how many of them actually fertilize. Or they have ICSI, which is where they kind of like inject um, one of his really good sperm into each individual egg. And that usually has a little bit higher of fertilization rates. So we're going to be doing that. We started about, let's see, we've been talking about doing it since probably about September, when after I had my little surgery procedure and it didn't work, we had to really sit down and decide, like, was IVF what we really wanted to do? Like, do we really, want this baby enough that we wanted to go through everything that IVF expects of you, demands of you to actually get the job done? And a lot of people think that it is like a 100% like you're going to get pregnant if you do IVF. It's just a quick fix, but actually, I think the percentage of it actually working each cycle, I think it gets a little bit better as you do subsequent cycles. But like for one cycle, I think it's only like 48% success chance. So, I mean, considering you're spending like, I've seen anywhere from eight to $15,000 around like our area for one single cycle. I mean, it can be even up to $20,000 for one single cycle. 48% chance is really not the most amazing odds, I would say. It's kind of a little bit scary, but and then medications themselves, like our medications, and we got a discount just for the beginning, were like $2,800, and we're still going to probably need to buy more because one of my doses got increased. So it is very financially demanding, let alone, emotionally demanding. So it was something we really had to think about if it was something that we wanted to do. So we wanted to wait until the new year, so that we could, get as much insurance backing as possible. We're both really lucky. We have pretty decent insurance at both of our jobs, so I just got put on both of our insurances to help out with a little bit with the cost. Didn't help with everything by any means, but anything helps. So when we decided we wanted to do it in the new year, we had to wait for my cycle to come. And that in itself was a little bit frustrating because of the PCOS. Like, never knew when my cycles were going to happen. Um, it could be 40 days and it could be, I think, like upwards of 90 days. So in January, um, I had a period, and I had to go, huh? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Kids, love them. um, so I got my cycle, and originally I didn't want to do the IVF until about March. I was thinking April, maybe even start thinking about it. But we went in, and Dr. Amos, that's our doctor, um, had said to Tim that we could start me on the birth control now. And Tim was like, I'm ready to get this done and over with, so let's just start. So it's kind of very shocking just to kind of jump into it. But long story short, the beginning process of IVF, you have to, well, for our protocol, there's different protocols, but we had to do 21 days of birth control prior to actually starting our stim cycle. And from what my understanding of it is that starting the birth control kind of gets all of your eggs in the right position to start out their stimming at the same time. So usually you'll have a dominant follicle that'll start growing. Suppressing on the birth control kind of makes all of your eggs have the same start time. So we did that for 21 days, and that was horrible. And I haven't been on birth control in a couple of years, but I was nauseated like all the time. And it was so horrible because at work, I kept feeling nauseated, and everybody kept saying, "Are you pregnant?" And I'm thinking in my head, no, there's absolutely no way that I'm pregnant, because there's no way I can get pregnant without IVF. So that kind of sucked, and it was kind of funny at the same time because I knew that I couldn't be pregnant, and I knew that I was on birth control, which is total counter opposite of what I should be doing, you would think, to get pregnant. But anyway, that's the process. And then next, which is kind of where we're at, is I had my period. I went in for some lab draws, and then I got the okay to start. So I'm on stim day 3. Stim day 3. I don't know what cycle day it is. But this is my 3rd day of injections. And let's see, I kind of tried to bring a little bit of everything to show you guys. So this is my calendar. I don't know if you can see it, for the month. This was after I stopped my birth control, and this was where I got my blood drawn. And then this day right here was our stim start day, so Saturday right here. So we stim all the way through here. At some point, we'll add in a 3rd injection to keep me from ovulating all those eggs that we're trying to grow. And then we will plan our egg retrieval day, and then when we get that planned, we get an actual trigger time that we're going to go inject with HCG, and that will get the eggs all mature before I go in for egg retrieval. So we don't really know when egg retrieval will be until, through the monitoring we have to wait for the follicles to get nice and big and mature. So we are right here. Possible retrieval day next Saturday, so maybe one more week, but it could be all the way up until, the 9th or the 10th. So it could be a long journey, but we're ready. My daily injection for right now, we're doing Menopur, just 75 units at the moment. We get to draw it up ourselves, which has been pretty easy for me since I'm a nurse, but it really isn't actually that difficult. I'm pretty sure that anybody, can do it. Clearly, they do injection teaching, so that's kind of nice. But it's not this long. It's not this long needle that we actually have to inject with. It is a little sub-Q needle, and all of our injections go in the belly right now, so that's nice. So I do that one at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then 12 hours later, I do follistim at 10 o'clock at night. And that one is refrigerated. So that's kind of a pain in the butt, honestly, because it has to say here, that's why I'm doing them at 10 in the morning and 10 at night, because with my work schedule and when I take care of babies, it didn't really work out to do it at a better time for my sleeping. So there's that. And then the last one that we'll add in later is going to be the Ganirelix. I'm not sure when we'll add that in, but probably when the follicles are nice and plump and I'm getting to the point where they're thinking that I could possibly ovulate. They don't want us to do that because that's a waste of money, and they do cancel IVF cycles, so that's not something that I would like to go through. And then the last thing that I have been doing is just, since they change your dosages, which I guess I should kind of go through, we go in for blood draws and ultrasounds every couple days, and then this week we'll actually go in almost every day, because it's really important to monitor where we're at with follicle size and our blood levels and whatnot. So they adjust your dosage based off of what your lab results were. So today, I don't know exactly what my lab results were, but because I missed the call and they left it on my voicemail, but we had to increase my follistim to 225. So I have this little handy IVF journal with my medications and inventory, because I have watched so many IVF videos like this, and I heard it's so important to know how much medication you have left over, because when the doctor increases, if you don't have enough and the pharmacy is closed and you can't just go to Walgreens or CVS for a lot of these medications, you need to be able to get them, and you don't want to mess up your stuff. So I've been keeping tabs on how much I have left and all that good stuff. So there's that. My next appointment is going to be on Monday, and it's actually an ultrasound, so we'll see what my ovaries are actually doing at the moment. I don't really feel much different right now, but I had a headache today, and I'm kind of tired, so maybe I'm actually starting to have some side effects. So I think that's about it for this update, just as like a kind of background. And the video, we're at 12 minutes, kind of long to watch, but hopefully I kind of explained a little bit for some of you who don't know, and if you have any questions, then you can leave them or send them. That'd be great. And have a good day. I'm trying to get the blog together because I really haven't done it yet, like I said in the last one, I still don't know if it's going to be something that we're going to be updating continuously, like live, or if like as everything is going on, or if we'll just post all these videos after everything happens. Originally, I didn't really want, too many people to know what was going on, just because, I had a friend who was going through it, and, a lot of people did know, and people ask a million times a day, and just because they're curious, how is it going, are you pregnant yet, and they mean really well, but I'm afraid that something, it might not be the outcome that I want, and I just want to be able to tell it when I want to tell it, and not when being put in awkward situations. So but I also at the same time feel like I know that when I was trying to learn about IVF, it was so helpful for me to be able to go on and look at other IVF stories as they were going on, and it's just exciting, and you kind of feel like you're there with the person, and their successes are your successes. So maybe I will post them. I probably will decide by the end of the day. So yes, signing out. And my husband, I know he's been kind of absent right now. He's working, but he has been really awesome with my injections thus far. He has a really good hand. He is a paramedic, firefighter captain now. Yay, he just got a promotion. But he's been pretty good with them, so I'm very grateful for him. And just because I'm a nurse doesn't mean that I can inject myself. I'll just say that. I can poke other people all day long, but me, think about it. So anyway, I'm gonna log out now, and will give you guys an update probably on Monday after my ultrasound and my blood draw.